Griffin the Griffin by BlackWing. Chapter 73. Playful Demon. As I sat and thought, Aoi jumped out through a window onto a balcony and went around to face the animals head on. Okay, Griffin. Deep breaths. There's a zoo full of angry, dangerous animals headed here, but Aoi is a trained assassin. He can stop them. Nightmare Moon's armor is out there, but Knight and my crew are hunting it. Celestia's passed out drunk, and Luna is being kidnapped by Ember, but she'll be fine. Besides, the elements of harmony are right here, next to me. What are you six doing? Well, you didn't give any instructions, and we can't act till something happens, so we just decided to wait here, Twilight explained. Oh, okay. That's, good. Yeah. I replied with a slight twitch in my claws. Y'all feeling okay, Sugar Cube? Applejack asked, concerned. No, I don't think I am. I usually have time to think things through, but this? It's just a runaway train. Everything has gone crazy, and I can't make sense of it. Heck, if it was Discord, I'd at least be able to understand that it's supposed to be this chaotic. But this level of mayhem happening on its own? I planned everything meticulously, and it's all gone wrong. I know I should be able to expect the unexpected, but this is just absurd. Yo, Ubi, get back inside and help with the civilians. Fall back. I heard Aoi call from outside. Griffin, can you and your crew handle this? Sorry, they're still with Nightmare looking for the demoness's armor, and I'm still trying to pour my brain back into my skull. Come on, they're just a bunch of animals. I know you can take care of it. Besides, someone needs to protect the element bearers. Since I'm totally freaking out right now, it should probably be me. If you really want to, we can switch in a bit. Well, I can't blame you for not wanting to go out there. This evening has just been absolutely dreadful so far. Couch? And then in a mimic of Pinkie Pie, Rarity pulls a fainting couch out of nowhere, and I proceed to flop on it. I saw Twilight glaring daggers at her, but then just dismiss it. Okay. I just need to relax. Just need to relax. The six mares around me all back away slowly, although I'm not sure why. Then I hear a voice from everywhere.
Your anger, your hatred, it's delicious. Join with me, and I will give you all that you desire, and more.
I jump from the couch and look to see a black mist swirling, taking the form of a snake coiled around me, whispering in my ear, shuddering in delight. Nightmare bursts through the door and looks at me in horror. Damn it, Griffin, no! It's the Nightmare! Don't listen to it!
Ignore him. Let me give you power. Let me give you strength. I will make you invincible.
Don't do it!
Do it.
Don't do it!
Do it.
Don't do it! Will you all shut up? My voice became deep and booming at the last part, with a sinister air to it. Everyone stepped backwards cautiously, clearly afraid, and then I started to laugh. Unlimited power! Overwhelming strength! I am invincible! Nah. The black mist snake hissed and glared at me with slitted green eyes. If I accepted you, then you would be the one running around cutting people up, and that wouldn't leave any fun for me. So, thanks for the offer, but I'm afraid the answer is no. Would you kindly fuck off now? The snake turned back into mist, then floated away as the ponies, Changeling, and my crew, which had now rejoined, just looked at me. What? It just offered you everything you ever wanted, and given your hatred, it'd be powerful enough to do it? And you just turn it down? Nightmare asks. Yeah, not worth it. Wow. I respect you slightly more now. Don't care. Girls? Fluttershy gets our attention with her adorably soft voice. We turn our attention to the cloud, once again a snake. that has wrapped itself around Octavia on stage. Fangs sprout from her mouth, and her eyes become green and slitted. I look to the changeling, and he looks back at me. Well, that's not good. Evil laughter sounds through the hall as the cellist pony undertakes a drastic transformation, gaining wings and a horn, a flowing black mane, dark armor, and growing to 3 times her size. Gilda, have the crew form a perimeter around the guests and get them out of the hall. Go deeper into the castle, keep them safe. Got it? Leave 5 here and have them stay out of the way, just in case we need someone to pull our asses out of the fire, but take the rest with you. I pronounce each word slowly and carefully, and she nods, signaling her understanding. Trixie hops on my back, knowing that there's about to be a fight. Nadine, get high up and use your blowgun to shoot the animals with darts. I don't care whether you put them to sleep or kill them. Gearman, you go with Nadine, and you take your family with you. You'll be safe there and can provide support. Steelhorn, Etch, Growl, you go out and help Aoi. Shimmer, Maria, you're with Nadine. Go. They rush to the stairs to get their respective positions, and the crowd of ponies brought out of the hall, through the back, deeper into the castle, where they will be safe. Now it's just Nightmare, the Element Bearers, Lyra, myself, and 5 Griffin riders, staring down the possessed Earth Pony. Lyra? What are you doing here?
You're all about to get in this epic fight. As if I'm going to miss this?
Right. She wants to watch. I think her priorities always were a little bit skewed. Just stay over there in the corner with my crew and stay out of the way.
I live again!
Hey, Nightmare? How do you feel about killing a demon? He gulped. Well, looks like I'm on my own. I walked up to the possessed Octavia, and glared.
Wahaha! Fool! You think you can defeat me? I am Nightmare Octave, and I will be your end.
I just gave a deadpan stare, then cleared my throat. Reasons why you will lose. Reason number 1, poor timing. The first time you showed up, it was in front of the only 6 ponies capable of stopping you. This time, not only are those same 6 here, but they are already wearing the elements of harmony, and they have one of the strongest fighters in the entire world on their side. And a perverted changeling whose special ability is that he can literally annoy you to death. Hey! I didn't even look back. So, I don't need to do anything. I can just sit over there, have some punch, and let these 6 deal with you. Reason 2. Cliché. You are a cliché villain. I know what you're going to do before you even do it, because I've seen it all before.
You dare mock me?
Yes. And reason 3. You've already done this once. This is just villain recycling, using the same plot point over and over. I wouldn't be surprised if they cut this entire event out of the show. It's repetitive, monotone, boring, and bad form. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to sit over there and talk about more important things, like what songs we're going to play at the concert, while these 6 kill you. Have fun. Then I turn away and begin to walk away. That was a bad move. I probably shouldn't have done that. Hey, I've had a stressful day, so I got a bit sloppy. Leave me alone. I'm not perfect, okay? This fact made apparent by the demon drawing its bow across the strings, and black tendrils of magic coming at me, 1 stabbing me in each wing, and 2 more glancing off my armor on the flanks, then picking me up and tossing me across the room. I landed upright, having trained myself to do that no matter what. I wouldn't land on my back and crush my rider, but with my wings bleeding, I was grounded, forced to hold my wings at my side to keep pressure on them. Griffin! I'm fine. 2 of them hit my armor, and the other 2 missed any vitals. You're bleeding! 'Tis only a flesh wound. I'll be fine. Girls, rainbow friendship cannon now, please! But as I turned to look at them, they were all lying passed out, the 5 necklaces and tiara on the ground before them. I walked up to investigate and saw they were all bleeding slightly from their foreheads, my claw now covered in it. My vision narrowed and the familiar adrenaline flow filled me. I had some of my crew pick them up and bring them up to Nadine, while Octave used her magic to grab the elements and put them at her hooves. You're going to pay for that.
Fool, you cannot hope to defeat me.
I just ignored her and charged. She lowered her horn as Trixie's began to glow. I jumped to her right and came at her from the side. She fired a blast of magic, only for it to phase right through me.
Illusion?
Lassero! I came from my original vector and swung Hades in a wide arc from right to left, leaving a massive gash on her side which sprayed blood. It healed almost instantly, however. Oh, that's just not fair! She turned and bucked. I ducked, and her hooves clashed with Trixie's shield. She moved to the left, throwing her off balance. She used her wings to stabilize herself, but an undercutting attack with my sword made her fall on her side, at which point Trixie extended her lance and skewered the possessed pony right in the heart. She retracted it, and I backed away, only for the wound to once again heal over. Damn it!
You'll regret that. Hear my song and know despair!
Trixie quickly passed me a blood vial, as by now my sword had run out and I downed it. She drew her bow, the tendrils coming forth, intent on paling us. Umbra! And they stopped dead, vaporizing into nothingness. A look of pure rage came over Nightmare Octave's face, and with some straining the spell shattered. I backed up towards the changeling and glanced at him. You planning on moving your fat chinless ass? Preferably today? What do you want me to do against that? She attacked by using sound waves. She broke through my silence spell, so you need to play some music to counteract her sound waves with your own. Basically, just play some awesome rock music to my fight in order to keep her spell off me. I don't know why she keeps healing, so I'll just have to keep whacking her till I figure it out. Sounds good to me. Bang! I turned to look. A dark beam coming from the possessed pony's horn, going right through Trixie's chest. It was on the right side, so it missed her heart, but I don't know if it hit the lung or not. She fell off me, and a small amount of blood was coming off of her mouth. Shit, Trixie, no! Hey, come on! No, don't die on me! Hey, you, Reed! Get her up to Nadine and Gearman, now! The Griffin flew over, carefully scooped up my wounded rider, and fled to the stairs as fast as he could, to get Trixie to the doctors.
Fools, I am your opponent. Do you think I would give you time to plan? I learned from my mistakes the last time. You cannot beat me. Face it, you've lost. Now lose yourselves to despair, and give in to my song. All the world shall hear my beautiful music.
Nightmare, start playing. What should I... One look into my maniacal eyes told him to just shut up and pick something. I threw my sunglasses onto the ground, pulled 2 more vials of dragon blood, 2 mana potions, and a health potion. I guzzled them all down, then tossed the glass vials onto the ground, shattering them. I cracked my neck, and my eyes nearly popped out of my head from the rush. Accelero, Protego, Lacero, Fortis, Furia. Speed, Protect, Cut, Strong, Berserk. I cast the last one because I wanted to forget my pain momentarily, as I knew I wouldn't be able to fight properly while bleeding out. Downside is... well...
What are you saying?
Woo-hoo-hoo. I feel good. So good. I wobbled slightly, my eyes rolling about in my head.
What?
I walked up to the possessed pony and showed her my claw covered in blood, an innocent, childish grin on my face. Look at that. It's red. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh, I just got an amazing idea. Let's paint the whole room red.
Enough of this!
She pulled her bow across the strings again. The tendrils came out, but due to Nightmare's epic song, they were all bent backwards, overwhelmed by the heavy metal.
Huh?
Was all she could say before I dove at her. In the blink of an eye, my sword making contact with her chest, slicing through her flesh but stopping at the bone. I withdrew then, with a left to right swing, smashed her in the head, followed by an overhead one, which put a crack in her horn and one more up in the front, knocking her onto her hind legs. I stabbed my sword into the ground behind her in order to keep her up. Paint the lines, cut the flesh, salt the wound, la la la. With her back pushed up against Hades, I attacked with a flurry of blows to her head, chest, and stomach with my claws, magically enhanced to be faster, stronger, and sharper than normal. I stopped and began dancing around in a circle, until I slipped in the blood that was on the floor. I pulled myself up and looked at my opponent, who was still bleeding slightly, as she healed. Oh, you're leaking! Oh, that doesn't look good at all. Hey, I know. If I drain it all out, you won't leak anymore. I delivered an uppercut, which knocked her over my sword onto the ground. I drew Hades, then made a massive overhead chop, which put yet another crack in her horn. The magic wave that was released sent me flying backwards, right past the changeling who was still throwing epic riffs to try and counteract Octave's spell, and through the door. I landed on the stairs, and when I got up, I saw that Demon Octavia had already gotten up and was closing the distance between herself and Nightmare. Her cello back between her hooves, sending focused sound waves at him that were startling to get through. He was jumping around while playing, trying desperately to avoid them. All the spells wore off, and I noticed Aoi trying and failing to deal with the Candelatsu. There were some wounded and dead manticores, timberwolves circling him, 3 elephants the size of buildings with a dozen or so blow darts in them, 3 trunks each, slamming them onto the ground and cracking the stones, some bird things, and a massive snake that was turning ponies unfortunate enough to be in the area into stone. Why does she keep healing? Your hatred is delicious. Ah, crap! So long as I'm around, she'll just regenerate. I can't fight her. Maybe my wolf friend could. Hey, Aoi! I could use a little help in here. And I could use a little help out here. Switch, the wolf offered. Try not to die, I replied in a sing-song tone before leaping over him to take his place in the fray. He passed the double doors as I turned to face my enemies. I noticed I was bleeding even more now, my vision obscured by a cut above my left eye dripping blood into it, and a distinct pain in my stomach every time I took a breath. Furia. The pain disappeared, and my fading adrenaline rush returned. The manticores were dead, just as half the timberwolves, but hierophants, basilisks, rocks, and harpies were all rather uninjured. I grinned. The basilisk will be the only thing that's a problem. Everything else, I hope the zoo has good life insurance policies for them. Hello, little puppies. You look cold. I know because your leaves are shaking. Wait, puppies don't have leaves. You're stuck in a tree. Don't worry, puppy. I'll get you out. And then I ripped the timberwolf in half with my bare claws, spilling its sap all over me. Yuck! Bad dog! We do that on the lawn, not in the house. I hefted my sword and sliced the next 3 in half as they dove at me. Bad dog! We don't bite. Go in your pen! The remaining 2 timberwolves looked at me for a moment, then put their tails between their legs and ran away. The hierophants came up and started thrashing about in their stead, crushing the cobblestone pathways. It's an elephant! Wait, that's not right. They only have 1 trunk, and you all have 3. Here, let me fix it! The monstrous beasts howled in pain as I sliced off all their trunks. They started gargling blood as they struggled to breathe. Their noses collapsed. They thrashed wildly before falling over, dead from drowning in their own blood. Oopsie daisy! First they had too many, and now they don't have enough. Hey, ouch! The rocks and harpies had flown down and started pecking and scratching at me. They came in a mass and kept piling on until there was just a swarm, only to get splattered as I did a spin attack, hewing them. Icky birds, they're just like bugs. Ooh, I have bug spray! Ingus! And flames spilled forth as I leapt into the air, doing aileron rolls despite my injured wings due to the spell acting almost like morphine, making a corkscrew of fire wrap around me as I flew, which reduced the remaining flock to mere cinders. I landed, with only the snake remaining when the magic-induced madness finally wore off. Wow. I honestly think I should go see a psychologist. That was way messed up. I was like a little kid who uses knives and lighters to torture small animals. There's something seriously wrong with me. Just the basilisk enough now. I turn to face the creature, and find that it's already staring right into my eyes. My legs started to feel heavy, and I look down them to see that they are turning to stone. When I turn back, I find that the snake is biting its lip with strain, giving me as intense a gaze as it can. Aw, you're adorable. Trying to scare me into defeat? Bitch, please. Didn't you know that stairs only work if the thing you're using on it is afraid of you? Looking at me like that isn't going to do anything if you don't use proper intimidation tactics first. Here, let me show you a proper stare. I glared back 10 times as hard, and felt my body returning slowly to normal as I mentally projected an intense hatred into the fiend. It began sweating, and tears came to its eyes before it broke eye contact and turned its head away, then began whimpering. See? Reading pays off. Basilisks are normally found in the feline jungle, and when I never ran into one while there, the book specifically stated not to be afraid, because then the stare won't work on you. Of course, that's easier said than done when you have a very large, venomous snake looking at you like you're its next meal. So, it suggested avoiding them outright. But if backed against the wall, look it in the eyes, get mad, and don't stand your ground. Push back. Don't feel too bad. It was a good effort. You'll get it eventually, but right now, you should probably be heading back to your cage. With those words, it nodded and began slithering away. I turned around, and as soon as it did, I heard a hiss. I spun and brought the flat of my sword in front of me as a shield, blocking two very large fangs dripping with venom. Well, since you decided to ignore my advice and stick around, the least you can do is humor me by answering a very simple question I have. The basilisk looked confused. Well, as confused as a face as it can make with Hades stuck between its jaws. The question is, do you like my sword? With the basilisk dealt with, and by that I mean skinned alive, followed by being decapitated, the ponies that had been turned to stone were freed from their prisons and looked at me, covered in blood and gore, and a teensy bit burnt, with fresh cuts and scrapes all over. You saved us? They looked around at the disgusting piles of giblets strewn about the street, and many of them vomited. What are you? Just your friendly neighborhood psychopath. All those animals! They were rare and exotic, and you just killed them all! Another pony, presumably the zookeeper by his get-up, said with anger. Listen, I'm hot, tired, bleeding out, covered in dirt and grime, and my head is pounding so much I could make it into dubstep. I might have broken bones, and my arms feel like they're going to fall off, so I don't feel like putting up with your bullshit. If you had done your job, this wouldn't have happened. Now, I'm going to go to lay down for a bit. If you disturb me, I will cut off your limbs and make you eat them, understand? He gulped and backed down, and the crowd promptly cleared out to try and get away from the hell that is just the Gala Hall. Time to find a nice spot to take a nap. Maybe get some yummy treats? After all, I just saved all those ponies' lives. I deserve to indulge a bit. So tired. I climbed back the steps warily, nearly falling a couple times as I did so, and saw my food cart near the entrance, around the corner, pushed up against the wall. To my dismay, I found that it was shattered into tiny little pieces. Only the sign remained, and all the food was gone. The single animal from the zoo that stayed behind, a rock, licking apple bits off its beak. You little fucker! And got ow, ouch! I held my head. Okay, no more spells for today. You're lucky, you little shit! Then, I kid you not, the bird folded its feathers on its wing back so only the one in the middle stood up, stuck out its tongue, and then flew away. Well, I can't go back in there, so I guess I'll just have a seat by this wall and wait for them to finish up their fight. As I sat down, there was a loud boom, similar to when I had cracked Nightmare Octave's horn, but louder, and I suddenly found a very heavy thing laying on me, while I looked at a distinctly Aoi-shaped hole in the stone wall. Kuso! He cursed. I tossed him off me, and he used his sword to help himself up. His other hand over his ear, a bit of blood coming from it. The possessed pony walked through the hole, now missing its horn, and just glares at us. Nice move, Aoi. She won't be able to use non-musical magic. What? Our conversation is interrupted by several black spheres exploding around us, shooting from her horn stump randomly. We are so screwed!
Enough of this. You are both proven to be more trouble than you're worth. I'll dispose of both of you, and then the whole world will hear my music, even without my horn.
I thought you said you could handle it. I sure as hell can't. He turned towards me, and I noticed his eyes were staring at my beak. You try listening to a fucking banshee! He barked, shoving me and jumping back to avoid a blast of black energy. Octavia begins playing a loud, high-pitched shriek on her cello, causing both Aoi and I to fall over, clutching our heads with pain as our eardrums rupture, when suddenly, through the ringing, we hear an unexpected voice. Shut up! Nightmare shouts as he comes from behind, and with an open, slow, overly dramatic swing which anyone with any real skill could have blocked, but was successfully done because the bitch wasn't paying attention to him, he lodges his axe in her horn, splitting it. She screams in agony as a black mist begins seeping out of the stump. He pulls his weapon from her head and starts playing an epic riff. The mist being sucked into his guitar as Octavia slowly turns back to normal. Aoi and I are covering our ears, each sound like 1,000 needles in the size of our heads. He screams before getting bucked off the irritated earth pony he was standing on. The battle finally over. Before his eyes, the lost chunk of Octave's horn transforms into a small, rounded piece of metal. Ow, 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 ow! Aoi and I are both writhing on the ground in pain. Our ruptured eardrums not being done any favors by the changeling that just stole my fucking catchphrase! Night! Stop! We both yell, and the changeling looks to us, seeing our bleeding ears. Then gets an apologetic look and says something neither of us can hear. The sounds stop and both of us fall over on our backs. Finally. Silence. Sweet silence. I breathe out, then let myself collapse. I'm seeing stars and swirls everywhere. Everything is a haze. I knock myself on the side of the head to set my eyes straight and look at Aoi. Hey, Griffin, he says. Well, at least I think. I'm not too good at leading rips on canines. Yeah, I whisper. He doesn't get it, so I nod at him and look at him expectantly. Know any healing spells? I nod and pull out a vial of dragon blood, as well as a healing potion and a mana potion. Down all three, get to my feet, and pull my sword out in front of me. I'm so gonna regret this. Medico. Oh. I pointed at Aoi, and his cuts and bruises vanish, and he looks visibly relaxed as I hold my pounding head, and point at myself. Medico. Waves of relief wash over me. My vision clears and cuts seal themselves, and I fall down in bliss from the relief of my pain. My ears have a tingle, and an instant of anguish and a sudden pop as sound returns to me, but then my head throbs even more. I fall back down onto the ground, laying on my back, wrapping my wings around me like a blanket as I shiver slightly. I've never had a night like that in 20 years, nor a battle like that in my life. Those are the battles I feel are the ones that make you want to keep on living. Great, now he's getting philosophical. That's my job, although I suppose I could share. I haven't been hurt this bad since I became a griffin, yet I still somehow came out of it okay. Fuck you, Death. Not today. Aoi starts to laugh and I join him. Hey, Griffin. Yeah? Where are you headed next? Jim Fido. I gotta get back to rescuing slaves. This vacation was nice, but now I need a vacation from my vacation. He slowly lifts his hand and makes a thumbs up. Mind if I hitch a ride? I lift my own thumb up, matching him, and then let my arm fall, laughing again. Nightmare stumbles over to us, his mane with small cinders burning in it, his jacket shredded and greenish blood dripping from it. That was awesome. He falls flat on his face and starts crying into the pavement from the pain. Someone call a medic, please. Oh, come on! My head hurts enough as it is. Don't make me. He let out a whimper. Fine. Medico, ow, ow, ow. There, now quit your bitching. I grabbed my sword and pointed at him without even getting up. And with renewed vigor, he jumps and starts yammering about how awesome that was. Like Pinky when she gets to start talking about birthdays. He turns to Octavia and talks about something, but I really don't care right now. Aoi gets up and talks with her as well, and I just lay there. I nearly get trampled. However, luckily I am pulled out of the way by a recovered Twilight, who had just been knocked out. I turn and see that she had rescued me from being crushed by some weird thing carrying a club, muttering something about crazy mares, while drunk Lestia chases after him, screaming about a cake thief. The unicorn set me on my feet, and I turn to the group. Nightmare is the first to speak. This whole damn world is nuts. I love it. I give him a noogie. That's the spirit. Maybe you're not so bad after all. Pervert. Neither are you, asshole. Well, still not turning into a human, so you can eat. and out of nowhere, Chrysalis walks by.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, when you turn into something else, you have their organs, so as long as you stay transformed while you digest it, you're able to eat normally. Sorry.
She smirks at Nightmare, then buzzes off. This was clearly an effort to torture him, and while I'd normally be all for it, he did just save my life. Bitch, he mutters, then perks up. Hey, where's all the goodies? I regret to inform you that the entire cart was eaten by the now deceased contents of the Canterlot Zoo. Damn it! I get my hooves on her! Well, Queen Chrysalis happens to be petrified of me, so what do you say we find her and play a little game of hospitalization? He smiles deviously at my suggestion. Sounds good to me. Then the two of us scamper off to do something that was, without a doubt, illegal and in violation of every single part of the peace treaty between Queen Chrysalis and Princess Celestia, and we don't give a shit. Sitting alone in the now empty and darkened gala hall, with burnt and broken tapestries, shattered floor tiles, broken windows, the doors knocking off their hinges, a hole in the wall, and blood everywhere, on a single chair, at a single table, with a single candle for illumination, sat Lyra, who had been a wide-eyed witness to the entire event.
I don't like humans anymore.